Hey everybody, it's Ed Espinoza here with Progress Texas. I'm here with Ed Scruggs from Texas Gun Sense, and we are here to do 5 questions with Texas Gun Sense about some of the biggest issues that are happening right now. Of course, there's been a lot of news around the country from El Paso to Dayton and other places in between. Really a tough time for us. Ed, is it time for Congress to take immediate action or for the Texas legislature to have a special session?
It's past time for action. We have to act now. People must realize we just endured a terrorist attack and a massacre, a race-based massacre on Latino citizens in the state of Texas. To me, it's critical that we act. We do need the U.S. Senate to come back in session and pass a universal background check bill that was passed in the House and has been sitting there. And we would like a special session in Texas as long as it's held on the right conditions and they have a set agenda and they're not just going to open it up to any crazy legislation. But yes, it would definitely help.
Let's talk a little bit about why these things are happening. Now, we've heard so many excuses. We've heard John Cornyn, our esteemed Republican senator here, blame mental health issues. Our Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has said things such as it's the fault of video games or there's too many doors in schools. What exactly is the problem and how do we address it here?
Well, I can tell you what the problem isn't. It isn't video games, it isn't doors, and in a large part it is not mental health. In Japan, they play the same video games we play. They play those same games in England, in Canada, in Germany, in Sweden, in most of the civilized world and the advanced world. They all have rates of mental health issues like the United States has. What's missing from that equation? All the guns. They don't have the guns that we have. That's where you get at the root of the problem, is the easy availability of firearms.
So let's talk a little bit more about the availability. Third question here. We talk a lot about universal background checks. Background checks are important. Are they enough?
They're not enough, but they are critical. And why that is because right now we have a system. A lot of people think there are universal background checks. If you go to buy a new gun at a dealer, you're going to have a background check. But it's easy to bypass the system. I could go on right now online to Craigslist, and within a few hours I could be buying an AR-15 in the parking lot of a Walmart out of some guy's trunk very easily. There's also a lot of handguns, illegal handguns, stolen handguns sold on a black market. So universal background check, a strong background check would be a good first step. It would keep some guns out of the hands of people that shouldn't have them. It wouldn't solve everything, but it's a good place to start.
Yeah, clearly there's a lot to be done on this issue. All right, question number 4. Presidential candidates, from their language to their rhetoric to conversations on race, what would you like to see from candidates who are running for president or even those who are running for the state legislature or Congress or any other office? What responsibility do candidates have right now?
Well, they have a responsibility to be knowledgeable on the issue. It's one thing to say, I support background checks and I don't like assault weapons. Well, what do you mean by that? We need candidates who have studied this issue, who have learned about it. They know the impact of gun violence in their districts, which is very helpful. And if they can't converse on that, that's an issue. And I think that's where we come in as voters, is we're holding candidates accountable by asking their views on this and kind of demanding an intelligent conversation on it. Presidential race so far is pretty good. Most of the Democratic candidates are strongly in favor of gun violence prevention. Of course, the president, he has a long way to go. But language does matter, rhetoric matters. We need to be inclusive at this time, and we need to be coming together if we're ever going to solve this. So come together and not separate people.
Yeah, good point, and be definitive in your answers. Okay, fifth question, last question is, what can people do now? A lot of people see these things, they're frustrated, they don't know what they can do. Let us know what we can tell them to do.
Okay, 3 words: act, organize, vote. Get off the sofa, go on the internet, look at some good reputable news sites. Look at our site, txgunsense.org, or our Facebook page to learn more about the issue. Gun Violence Archive is a good page. Also, join an organization out there like Texas Gun Sense, one of the others that are out there, and then talk to your friends, talk to your family, the people in your circle, and then the absolute imperative is that you vote in every single election, state and local.
Absolutely.
And every single candidate that you vote for has a good stance on how to prevent gun violence.
That's right, and hold them accountable. Make sure
Absolutely.
that you ask them those questions. Well, thanks so much, Ed. I really appreciate your time.
You.
This has been really helpful, and I know that our viewers appreciate it too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.